Well, welcome back to Super Tuesday Recap. This is your host, Kriss and Dpalm here. Yeah, and we're back with this motherfucking show, yo. Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
No, I'm done. I'm done. No.
Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 5, Episode 14, The Devil Complex. Fitz and Simmons are faced with one of the greatest fears, and they search for a way to seal the rift. And just when you think you got to figure it out, and you're like, oh no, it's not a big deal. It's not a problem. No. Of course, Fitz is seeing the Fitz from the framework. I mean, it's either his greatest fear or it's Gemma's greatest fear, right? That makes sense. They're seeing apparitions. We saw Will in the astronaut suit show up at the beginning of the episode. So you're back in your mind. You're going, apparition. It's not real. It's not real. And in that scene, when they reveal that it's Fitz the entire time, like he's seeing the other Leopold.
So I think you and I kind of pointed this out. There's been flashes of the other Leopold.
Yo, they get remember in the Fitz-centered episode where he
when he takes the people out with the guns,
right? And he's talking.
He drops Cassius.
He drops Cassius, but he's talking when he was talking to in that other episode when he was talking to Hunter. He kind of was, and they played, and we should have known because they played that clip again before this episode started, with him basically saying it's like, no, it's inside me the entire time. Boy, we should have seen it coming, but.
So did you not figure it out to the reveal?
I kind of thought something was up, but I was like, no, they're not going to do that. I didn't think they would do it for some reason. I don't know why.
Never seeing the Doctor interact with anyone else is what kind of I don't know. I grew up on Fight Club.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I watch out for that kind of shit. But like watching him not interact with anyone, I was like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of those things like you're dreading it, but like they wouldn't.
Well, it's also the other thing too. It's like this was a pretty big like we've seen the apparitions they can actually interact with the physical world, but there's a lot. I mean, he was literally operating on fucking Daisy.
Yeah,
and it was just like,
Yo, that moment when he looks down and the scalpel's in his hand, I wanted to stand and applaud like Ian DeCassier, like, good God.
So here's the thing. I'm thinking about this. I want to say, I love a lot of these episodes of Agent Show. Like, it's hard for me to pick my favorite episode, but I think I have to go back and now actually have to go back and watch 5 seasons of show to verify this. I now think that episodes that center Fitz or center Simmons are my favorite episodes.
I will have the argument that this is my favorite episode of the series.
I cannot argue against that with you.
I'll have the argument. I'm not sure I'm there yet, but I'll have the argument.
It's because it catches you so off guard because you're like, because here's the thing I had to remind myself, they just got married last week.
well that too, but I think even more for me, it's you look at what Fitz has been through. He was broken in season 2.
Well.
Everything since then has been like the idea that this would be the thing that would finally fracture his psyche and drive him literally crazy makes sense.
Well, not only that, but like Simmons even said, Simmons is like, no, it's not you. It's your old injury again. It's your injury. Mm-hmm. That she's trying to. So she literally goes through what it could possibly be because she doesn't want to believe that this is just Fitz is finally fucking cracked. You got to remember, this is a man who's jumped through another dimension to save Simmons. This is a man who literally slept for 90 years. I was trying to explain it to somebody on YouTube about how there's 2 Fitzes right now. Because one Fitz literally has to be in space in chronosleep for 90 years. It's like, that's what he did. Like, that's the sacrifice he's been through. This is a man that's been through so fucking much. The fact that he hasn't cracked before now, it shows you how strong he is because fuck, he should have cracked.
Yo, remember in season 2 when he sucked the air out of the room Ward was in?
Yeah.
Like, we thought we were saying, oh, he's finally... No, he never came back. Like, the mind can only take so much.
Well, it was... What was it? Was it... So going into... So season 3 is when Simmons was gone. Remember, that's when we got Double O Fitz.
Double O Fitz.
So, and it kind of goes back with the whole thing that was always inside of him.
It was always inside me. I just never embraced it.
Yeah. And even then, like, the evil Fitz is saying, it's like, I'm going to do what you need to do. You know the one thing you need to do to compress the gravitonium to fit it into the thing. You know what you got to do. You got to get Daisy's powers back. You know Daisy doesn't want her powers back.
Not enough time to convince them.
Huh? Yes.
Also, there's not enough time to convince them. So, and I think that's what made him snap, is that his logic part of his brain had figured out what to do, but the rest of his brain wouldn't reconcile it. So he fixed it.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
like
shit.
He fixed the problem, but it's like, did he break the team? He broke the team because it's like, yo, Daisy's never gonna forgive him, and maybe Mac does, but that's gonna be hard. And then his relationship with Simmons, which, by the way, I think she was way more calm about it than I thought so.
No, because you got to remember that just like we're like have the recall of, we have these seasons on demand, you can look back at old notes.
Right.
She's got that too.
Right.
This isn't just something that happened to a crew member. This is the man she loved. She watched him go through hell.
Right.
So for me, that was actually, I was really glad they played it that way.
Oh, no. Don't get me wrong. I love the fact they did it. But I still was just like, that was not the reaction I thought I was going to get. But I did like the fact that she broke down afterwards. But then you got Deke coming in and basically telling her, yeah, I'm your grandson. Which, by the way, we all know that she's pregnant right now, right?
Do we?
Okay, so talk about things you notice. So obviously, there's just throw up at the end, right? But that doesn't have to mean that she.
That's the appropriate reaction to be like.
Right, that can be the appropriate reaction. But if you watch earlier in the episode, she's doing something. She's kind of out of breath, and she seems like she's some. Yeah, I'm telling you, she's pregnant already. Guarantee you, she's pregnant already.
Well, here comes the rub. So we know that in the future, when the world dies, Deke's mother grew up knowing both her parents, and that her father was the most loving man alive. Is the way to make that future not happen, does that involve them staying apart?
Could be. Doesn't mean that her father is. Doesn't mean the father she knows is.
Ooh, that's a great point.
Fitz.
That's a great point.
Yeah, I mean, what is it? What is it that that Yando said? What it was?
Might be your father, but he ain't your daddy.
Right. I'm just saying.
It's a good point. It's a really good point.
Just saying. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But you know, yeah. No, man, this episode was just. I was like, so that's how Daisy gets her powers back. Ooh, Fitz, that is. Violating so many codes right now, but I understand you got to do what you got to do. Oh man!
Like at the end of the day, he's not wrong.
No, but even I think that's what. So when he's talking to Simmons at the end, Simmons was like, "Yo, you weren't wrong. I get it. You weren't wrong. Your methods might have been needed some work. You weren't wrong. You did what you had to do. So I get it." But I don't like. Wow.
Yeah.
Good guy. Like, yeah. So that one. Ooh, like I said, I love Fitz-centered episodes because Ian is just he's like when you go back and think about where these actors and characters started at when they first hit, you never would have imagined seeing these characters pulling what they're pulling right now, and it's
at all.
Ooh, so good. Damn, and that was like a big part of the. Also, I love the fact that they dropped the name Franklin Hall. I don't think they've been dropping it before, so I definitely think this means we're getting Franklin Hall.
I think you and I are right on that. I think we're 100% on the button, on the nose there. We're getting Franklin Hall back, Gravitron, and that's going to be a problem.
Oh yeah, that's gonna. Yeah. So, let's see. And they keep bringing people back. Like, so we obviously we know about Creel. We have Hale, but then they brought back Anton.
I have enough. Cool. How's that for a cool origin story, bro?
Which again, like you got to remember. I love that this writing room doesn't forget the things that they've done before. Because that is such a cool like remembrance because of how Coulson greeted him the first time. It's like, yeah, cool origin story, bro. I don't remember.
Daisy drops a building on his ass.
Right. But yeah, and kind of jumping to the end, we see that this is I like the fact that Coulson is still trying. Coulson is still Coulson, even though it does at some point see that it's like, you know, May's like, oh, you still have a death wish. Like, that's why you're going with her. That's why you're doing this. This is a bad move. Don't do this. But at the same time, I'm like, no, actually, if he wasn't dying, Coulson would do this. Like, this seems like a move Coulson would do.
But also, to May's point, since he's known he's dying, like if we go back to the point after Ghost Rider, a lot of the decisions Phil Coulson's have made has been reckless even for him.
They're going. You know what they are? They're season 1 recklessness.
Because he knows. Because right now he's in what we call overtime or bonus time. He's just sudden death, if you will. Tomorrow's not promised literally for Phil Coulson.
Yo, absolutely.
So May has a point.
Oh no! I think everybody has a point. And I think Phil is trying to pretend like it's not a big deal and that it's just him doing what he's always done. But like you said, the people that close to him know. Like May knows. May's as close to him as anybody else could be. And May's like, no, I know this is you kind of being reckless. Even that, fine, you can take him. Theo's like, she's mad at you, Phil.
Hell yeah.
Phil, you made your wife mad.
We're not airing our dirty laundry in front of the bad guys.
Right. But it just didn't make me wonder. It's like, so now I have questions. Like, first it was, because now I was not confused, but it was, first, you know, we were talking to Hale. Hale was like, oh, no, I was told to stop you and bring you, stop you at any means necessary, almost killing them, right? Now she's like, oh, no, I want you to join me. And now it's like, obviously we can't trust you. But, like, I want to know what the end is. I mean, clearly there's a connection to the Kree because they have the Odium at the end. And so I would really like to know who that is.
Well, I think it's almost unimportant. I think we'll find out who it is.
Right.
But I think the larger theme is that it's always going to come down to S.H.I.E.L.D. versus Hydra.
Mm-hmm.
And whether it's Hydra as an inhuman ruler or the people who created that ruler.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was always going to come down to S.H.I.E.L.D. versus Hydra. And people are like, oh, I wish you could work from Hydra. Motherfucker, the show's called S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
If this is the swan song, it's only fitting that they face Hydra on the final battle.
Oh, absolutely. I was going to say that. I mean, if you end this, it's only fitting that you can do two things. You can both bring back S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra to use for a larger MCU at a larger date. Like, there's a lot of stuff you can do here. So, no, I'm 100% with that. Like, if, again, I do believe this is going to be the last season. And if it is, yeah, this only makes sense to bring in Hydra, a different form of Hydra, or Hydra as a, thinking, I'm not really Hydra, but you are Hydra. You're just Hydra under a different name. It's still Hydra, right? So, love that. Let's see. I had in my notes.
I want to have an extra day between Saturday and Sunday too, Fitz.
Absolutely. See, Fitz is not all bad. Fitz is not all bad.
No, I'm not even far to say half bad. He's like 33% bad. He's got a bad side to him, but he's Fitz. He's our Fitz. Like, I'm not. This is still our Fitz.
I can't throw him away completely.
I refuse. There's another Fitz currently asleep for 90 years to save his friends. I refuse to throw this man away.
I'm just saying. I mean, Fitz, you couldn't find some kind of anesthesia, something for the pain. Like,
how about you also back off?
I'm just
Times
saying,
of the essence.
Just saying. You operated on Daisy and pulled that shit out of her neck. Like, Daisy did not look happy at all. Like,
she said she'd never forgive him, and she maybe never will. But there will come a point in this season where her life is on the line, and she uses her powers. And we know what she won't think? Thank Fitz, because she's ungrateful. Y'all just mad Fitz is smarter than y'all. They don't have time for your foolishness. Like, I'm hardcore Team Fitz now. I'm sorry.
Oh, look, man. I want an Evil Fitz Funko Pop.
Because like when they're like, he said, "I know you'll forgive me," but then the montage of everyone doing what he said, I was like, and it working. I was like, I get you're upset. I get it. I respect your feelings. Hear me out.
It's one of those apology, not apologies. Like, I am sorry that you feel that way. I'm sorry that you got.
I'm sorry you wouldn't listen to reason. I'm sorry I had to go this far with this shit.
Listen, that entire scene was just cold as shit. Because it's like when Fitz realizes that the scalp was in his hand, you're like, oh shit, Fitz is gonna realize he's gonna.
You think it's like horror or revulsion? Nope. He's like.
And then he's like, whoa, no. I mean, I got to do what I got to do. This is the only way. So, yeah. And then he goes through the entire thing and does it. And you're like, oh man, Fitz has embraced the darkness, and yeah. It did make me want to also go do this now, though. So, because we know that Fitz and Simmons are together at one point when they get Robin, but we never really see Daisy in any of those things.
Right. So
it's like I got so many questions now at this point. Like it's, man, yeah. Let's see. Fitz snapped. I also have I like the fact that I know that she's gonna get regular arms. Like they're gonna paint them like make them flesh looking, but I love the fact that the images of the arms were silver for Yo-Yo.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I appreciate that. I appreciate the
little stuff.
The little things I appreciate a lot here. Yeah, I mean, look, I also remember that when Hale says that the thing she has over Anton, she's like literally his head in a jar.
Yeah, like, your balls in a vise. Actually, it's head in a jar.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. It's like, oh, yeah, I forgot. He isn't really a full LMD. His head is literally in a jar somewhere. And it also goes back to what Coulson. Again, you forget that Coulson is a really good spy sometimes. Because you figure it's like, oh, wait, you're not really in charge. You can't duplicate what Ava did because that's why all your LMDs aren't really. You don't have faces, and it's also why Hale isn't an LMD. The truth of the matter is, I don't believe that you're in charge over her. She probably has something over you. And yes, literally his head in the jar. Makes sense. So, I'm really interested in seeing how they're going with this. The Confederate or whatever. Like anytime I hear a Confederate, I kind of get a little antsy because black man. So already you're already not looking good. Like that actually might be worse than Hale Hydra right now. So yeah, but
no, it's the Confederation. Remember because they talked about them in the
Confederation
in the future.
Yes, the Confederation. Oh wow, I forgot about that.
You talked about it in the future because it's not just the Kree.
Yeah, you're right. I completely forgot about that. So much. Here's the crazy thing. So much has happened in this season.
We've time traveled twice.
They've time traveled. It's 14 episodes only. It's only 14 episodes. Like I feel like this is fucking incredible. I mean, we still got 8 more episodes left, I think, right? So it's just I'm blown away by everything that happens with this right now. I just am because it's so much, so fucking much. And I have no idea where it's gonna go. This is one of those ones where I have some theories here and there. But overall, I'm flying blind just like everybody else. So, before we get into the email, you got anything else you want to say?
No, just this show, man. We think we see the best of them, and then they're like, "Nah, we were better. We got more."
Yeah. Just we can keep this party going. Like it's. Exactly. We're gonna now bring Evil Fitz back. It's like, okay, fine, you're gonna bring Evil Fitz. So like, no, it's actually Fitz. It's just the evil part of him comes out. You're like, son of a bitch, the part we've always seen a little bit of. Oh shit. Okay. So Tanya says, "What the bloody hell?" As Fitz would say. I was really looking forward to this episode and seeing Fitz versus the Doctor. I thought how great it is that they were using the fear dimension to bring closure to some of these plot points. Kill Evil Fitz, move on with the great character development, and then bam, the Doctor was our Fitz. I didn't see that plot twist coming, but I loved it. Feels like I love everything that the show does. I'm glad they're addressing how deeply what happened in the framework affected Fitz, and I can't wait to see what happens next. I fucking love this show and how the writers give us what we want to see, even when we don't know we want to see it. Hope it's not the last season, but if it is, I'll still be happy because I know it's so well done. Keep up the great work, guys. Yeah, and that's the thing when we brought up here. It's like it's not just a framework. I think the framework kind of again brings out what's inside of you already. And we realize that this has always been in Fitz. And when you start going back and looking at some of those moments with Fitz, you're like, oh, shit. He does have those. Oh, now I go back. You know what? It has to be Fitz has to be the Deke's mom. It has to be the parent because Deke knows all the stuff about Fitz, about like all he when he's talking to Gemma, he was bringing up like the sandwich and all that stuff. So so he has to. So yeah, no, they stick together and they raise that kid some kind of way. So
they get over it. That's like people like, and that's one of those things that like you realize that the people like our parents aren't this idyllic version of who we thought they were. They had their ups and downs before we were here or after we were here. It's just like Deke's learning like his grandparents, all the sweetest. Great stories, like things were different.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy as it sounded.
Right. I heard all these great stories about how sweet and kind and nice he was. Yeah, he can be all that, but
there's that too.
There's also the darker side of Fitz, where I watched him operate on one of his friends with anesthesia against her will.
How you doing, old chick? Because this happened like a week ago.
Right. I'm just sorry. It was Friday. I'm sorry. It's really old shit. We're on to the new shit now. The new problem. Which is the funny thing to me is, well, I don't expect I don't expect Daisy to just forgive Fitz all of a sudden for this. I also don't expect it to be something that sticks around because there's going to be a new problem.
Yeah, they've got bigger fucking issues.
Namely. That Coulson is now with the enemy. They now need a rescue mission.
Great.
I mean, it's just like we don't like, and I think that's the thing about this show. It's like, again, to bring up other shows we watch. Arrow's dealing with a show where you have, dissension among the teams, distrust, and things like that. And it feels like they're like dragging it on, and you're like, oh, come on, like we're mature, we can get past this, and they're not. I don't see think about again. It was what Fitz did was way worse when Coulson iced Daisy. It was literally like you shouldn't have done that. Well, I wasn't gonna leave you behind. Okay, and you can kind of see how that goes. This one's gonna be a lot harder to get past, but they've all gone through something like this before. Daisy's
been on the run fighting the team for months.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like we've all seen them do these things. May was lying to Coulson, spying on him for Fury. Mack sided with the other Shield. Remember the real Shield? That's where Mack came from. You know, it's like they've all kind of done shit like this before, except for Simmons. I'm trying to think. Simmons is I think it's the only pure one.
I'm sure if we thought hard enough about it.
Yeah, I'm sure we can probably think of something. But that goes to show you how fucked up this team has been, right? So, hey man, what's a little bit of unauthorized surgery among friends? I'm just saying.
Everybody your friend a shot if they didn't want a shot. Congratulations, you poisoned your friend.
Right
now, is that much different than what Fitz did? Let's have the conversation.
Fitz drugged and operated on his friends, and he did it to save the world. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, he poisoned his sins with a purpose.
He didn't do it out of the just because he did it.
Willy nilly.
Right, he needed to save the world. I'm just saying. It's just not saying I would have done it, but I understand, right? Good God, we're going to hell. Man, I love this fucking show, yo. I just, oh man. And the name of the episode, The Devil Complex. Oh my God, oh man. Oh my God, this is great. I love this show. Oh man, I'm actually glad this is not a Netflix show where I can binge it. I need the weekend between episodes.
I can't deal with that. No,
I need the weekend between episodes. I need the weekend between episodes to kind of decompress. And again, like this is only 14 episodes, and it feels like we've been through so much. Like that's right, we're coming up on we're coming up on the last arc because there's still going to be 3 arcs, so we're coming up on the last arc soon. So, whew, boy, oh my goodness, I'm assuming that probably happens in like 2 episodes, probably 16, 17 probably starts the last arc. So, oh my goodness, man, so good. So, all right, this week mailbag. So, you still got a couple. By the time you hear this, you got a couple more days to get your mailbag episodes in. Mailbag at mtrnetwork.net. Send them in to us. I know, hey, Black Panther, is just the highest grossing domestically comic book movie of all time already. So, congrats. So, I know we're going to have to talk about that. Some of the things that are coming up. I know we got one email already. Send us in some stuff. We have some ranting to do. Yeah, mailbag coming up soon. Also, let's see. I think I saw one person. I think LaToya said she watched Krypton. I think we need at least 3 recommendations. So we need 2 more people to do their job, pay what you owe, and pay what you owe, and watch Krypton, and tell us if it's something we should check out. We got 1 recommendation already. We need 2 more. So let's go. Let's get on with it. I'm feeling a little down that you guys aren't doing what you guys need to do. Like, you guys need to put.
Or maybe it's no good. Like, that's the other thing is I have to open the door that maybe it's no good.
Yeah. No, I mean, maybe it's not. Like, I didn't even see what did the Did you see any reviews for it? That's another thing too. So here's the thing that got me. I didn't see any reviews for it.
I haven't looked.
I didn't hear any buzz. I didn't see people talking about it online. And so it could be that it's good, just nobody's watching it, which means it's not going to last long. So, it's at 58% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Not a great number, kids.
Not a great number, guys. Not a great number. So, also, I don't know if anybody's checked out the I have not done it yet myself. I will be, hopefully this week, checking out the podcast, Wolverine The Long Night. If you want to check it out, you guys can still sign up for Stitcher Premium. Go to Stitcher.com/premium, put the code in Tuesday, and you get a free month of Stitcher Premium. So you can listen to the Marvel's podcast, Wolverine The Long Night, and also all the premium shows from Stitcher with no ads. So go ahead and do that, guys. And I think that's it. Oh, and make sure you follow us on Instagram. I know by the time you wrap this up, Shannon will be wrapping up her, probably will be wrapping up her stint at WonderCon. She's been taking over our Instagram account, MTR Network Instagram account. And I know next week, the doctor and I will be at AwesomeCon. So yeah, just follow Instagram.com/MTR Network. We'll be putting up some stuff from there. So keep an eye out. So again, folks, thank you guys very much for listening. Until next time, we're out of here. Peace.